All right, who's your man of the match?
Who is my man of the match? Well,
I mean, there's only two it could be, right?
Well, you could
maybe
give it
Dibu
to third.
Martinez?
Yeah, you give a shot
Or Di
to Dibu.
Maria?
Yeah, even Di Maria, but
Yeah.
it's Lionel Messi.
Okay.
It has to be Messi. It's a fitting.
What'd you think of his performance? And then we'll get into his legacy.
I kept jokingly writing down, it is written.
Right.
Right? On Twitter, it is written. Like, this was supposed to be the send-off for Messi. This was supposed to be the way it happened.
If you wrote this as a Hollywood script, they would have rejected it because...
It's not believable.
Yeah, it was too fantastical.
No way. He's 35 years old. He's going to come back and do this.
Oh, and it's going to be a 3-3 final, and, you know, France is going to get sick.
With the young gun coming through, the new idol, and he scores a hat trick, and they still lose?
Yeah.
They still? No. No, it's not going to happen. But it has to be Messi, and it was always going to be Messi. Messi, who had a record before this final of 5 finals played, 0 goals, 0 assists, comes into this final and involved in every goal they had. 2 goals, one with his right foot, which you almost never see.
Right. And in extra time.
And
I mean,
in
what a
extra
moment.
time.
And not a Messi goal, a rebound, a crashing.
A gritty
yes.
fight, spirit type of goal. It was the anti-Messi that we've seen before in finals.
A pressure-packed penalty early on. That
very cool, calm. Yeah.
And then in the beautiful goal for Argentina, the second one, if not for his double touch there in midfield.
He starts to play.
He starts to play.
Yeah,
he starts to play. I mean, everything seems to come off his boot. I do want to pat myself on the back. He did cover the 2 shots on goal book-it that I had yesterday. You picked Kylian Mbappe 2 shots on goal.
That's right.
Nailed that.
Yeah.
The ones that we lost, we won't bring up, right?
What do we? Oh, the under.
You took the under, which is way off.
You wanted to.
And I actually had a Messi assist, which was foolish because I've been hammering Messi goal all tournament, and that would have obviously paid off. By the way, just as far as Messi goes, and maybe this can kind of take us into the legacy talk, I think we can focus very much on this performance in the final, and it is historic and it is everything. But if we go back to one of the moments where Argentina's World Cup was on the thinnest of ice, it's in the second half against Mexico, right? It's in the second half against Mexico after they lose to Saudi Arabia in the first game. If they don't win that game, and even if they tie that game, things are looking very different for Argentina, right? Because maybe they don't get out of the group, but even if they do after a tie, it's most likely as the second-place team, which is going to change your route. And I think if we look
at face France.
If we look at that bracket, they were on the right side of it for them, right? If we take that goal in the 60th minute, what is the weight of that goal now? When Mexico was literally was not playing football, was throwing everybody they could behind the ball in an effort to limit Argentina and very specifically limit Messi, and he still found a way, and he beat, whatever you want to say about Memo Ochoa, one of the greatest shot stoppers in Mexican goalkeeping history, and a guy who takes his game to the next level in the World Cup, and in the game before, he'd proven it from the penalty spot against Robert Lewandowski, and Messi beat him from outside the box. To me, we want to talk about all the plays of the tournament. Don't forget that one, because without that one, Argentina probably doesn't make this run.
Well, if Argentina doesn't win that game, they can't tie. If they tie that game, it goes up to chance. They only go. I mean, it's a do-or-die game against Poland, and Mexico and Poland could both go through with 5 points. It would have been over. That was the game. It was the game, ironically, for Mexico, excuse me, Argentina. And Argentina going into this would have never thought that. Now, this is where, let me just go off base really quickly. This is where I take issue with those that say, on any given day, we can beat anybody. When they say, hey, World Cup, is it possible? And they say, on any given day, we can beat anybody.
You're saying my argument when I say anybody can win the World Cup?
No. And this is not a shot at Greg Berhalter because he's not the first one to say it.
Right.
Yes, on any given day, you can beat anybody. Saudi Arabia just beat the World Cup champions. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina.
Yeah.
Can you do it 5 out of 7?
Sure.
Because that's what you will need to do.
Yeah.
And
as you get to the knockout rounds,
that
bar
fifth,
gets
sixth,
higher
seventh
and higher.
have to be in a row. Can you do that?
And really good opposition.
And against better opposition every single time. That is the difference.
There's been some doubts for some people about where Messi stacks up in the conversation of the greatest of all time. Where does this performance and this result leave him in your eyes?
You know how when we have a discussion about Pele, and you have to go, well, what I've seen of him, the videos I've watched, what I can see in YouTube. Maradona, well, I was like 4 years old, so what I saw in documentaries, what I saw in old footage, what I saw on YouTube, that's always the argument, right? And then you see that, and you're like, yes, good in their time, yes. Now we're going to be those people.
In 20 years, in
that
40
got to
years,
see Lionel Messi do what he did for 15 years. Pelé didn't do that. Not at this level.
Yep.
Not in Europe.
100%.
Maradona didn't do that. Not like this. Any single thing you could try to hold over Lionel Messi's head as to why he's not the GOAT, he just kicked it back in your face.
Yeah.
All these records. It's easier to try to pick a record he doesn't have than to name all the records he does have.
Yeah.
He's that player right now. He is the greatest of all time. All he needed for the naysayers was a World Cup trophy, and he has that right now. Can't say anything to this man. He's the greatest player that I've ever seen.
Yeah. For me, the greatest of all time. I'll go with you, the greatest I've ever seen. And I know there's some Madridistas here in the production department. This 100% ends the Messi v. Cristiano Ronaldo debate, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
if anyone was holding on to that.
Cristiano's an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
Cristiano wins the World Cup. You take him from in that top 5 and you shuffle him around probably somewhere in that top 3, right? This shuffles Messi around in that top 5 to number 1. That's the difference. I'm a huge Cristiano fan, but what Messi has done and done for so long, and actually give Cristiano credit, because if Cristiano's not in this era,
Totally.
Messi cleans house in the
gosh.
Ballon d'Or. And it's probably because of Cristiano that Messi is that much better. You don't go faster unless you have the rabbit chasing you. Or unless you have a rabbit to chase, excuse me. That's a reality. You don't get there unless somebody's nipping at your heels. Competition brings out the best, and I think in Cristiano he found that foe, he found that nemesis that could bring it out of him. But this is insane. This is a fitting way to end a legendary career. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it. I mean, Kylian Mbappe just made 2 finals by the age of 23. And him and Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe are the future of the sport. But what Cristiano and Messi have done, they made it practically impossible to repeat.
Yeah. I don't think there's a thing that you can point to any longer other than your personal preference.
That's it.
To say that Messi's not the greatest of all time.
And even then, you're denying the numbers.
Right,
you're
that's what I'm
denying
saying.
the statistics.
There's nothing anymore.
No.
Like, you could say, well, Pelé won 3 World Cups, or Pelé did this, scored 1,000 goals. But if you really take a look at the statistics of Messi's career, they back up everything we've known for 15 years from the eyeball test, which tells us he's just different. He's an alien. He's from another planet from in a footballing sense. It's something we've never seen, and I don't think we'll ever see it again.
I mean,
the closest thing is Maradona for me, and the comparison, it falls apart when you talk about the longevity.
It doesn't even come close.
It's like, it's like 3 times the career.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And more European accolades. I mean, what Maradona did with Napoli is insane. I don't think I've ever seen that. Go to a place that's not known for doing anything and make them contenders to Serie A championships. But you didn't dominate Europe the way Messi did. You didn't do what Messi did for 15 straight years. And Messi did it drama-free.
Well, not quite drama-free. There was always drama. There was always tension.
You know what
I
mean.
Yeah. Different characters. It's funny that Argentina has produced not just 2 of the greatest players of all time, but 2 very similar greatest players of all time, right? Like, I think if you compared like Pelé and Ronaldo, you might, original Ronaldo, you might find some differences. If you wanted to throw like Cristiano Ronaldo and Eusebio, and you would find some differences. But for me, Messi and Maradona, it's like 1.0 and 2.0, right? And I think More put it really well the other day when she was on this set, Morena Beltran. She said, this is like the one time where you can point and say, this is how you explain 2 gods, right?
Right.
And
you can have different gods.
Argentina
is what she said.
has provided both of them.
Sos un loco.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.